This is not a path most people walk, yet it leads to a profound connection. Consider this for a moment. Have you ever observed someone who seems to possess a calm center, yet struggles to form a deep, authentic bond with others? This journey is not about appearances, material wealth, or forced confidence. The truth is, many overlook the simple, mindful gestures that foster a true connection. Today, let us explore 7 pathways to this understanding, insights that others may feel drawn to, yet rarely articulate. These are not techniques for attraction that you have heard repeated. They are quiet invitations to presence, rooted in timeless wisdom that can transform how you are received, allowing your genuine nature to be seen without effort. Imagine for a moment. What if you could connect from a place of shared humanity, a space that many don't even realize they are searching for? What if you could simply be separate from the 99% of approaches that are based on effort? Not through striving, not through proving, but by understanding what truly allows another person to feel seen, understood, and emotionally safe. Here is a thought to hold. If you are unaware of these pathways, you may be unknowingly creating distance. You might be missing the chance to build the kind of quiet resonance that remains in a room long after you have gone. This is why we will walk this path together. The final insight is perhaps the most fundamental, and once you grasp it, your view of connection may be forever changed. Before we begin our journey, take a moment for yourself. If you feel called to explore these transformative perspectives, find a quiet space and let us walk on. Let us begin. First path, the gift of presence before intimacy. Hold this scene in your mind. You are sharing time with someone. The words flow easily. There is laughter, and everything on the surface seems right, yet something is missing. You can feel that the connection hasn't truly deepened. She is present, but not fully settled in your presence. You part ways, you share a final word, and then there is only stillness. No reply. What has happened? Many focus entirely on words to build a bond. They believe a pleasant exchange is sufficient. But for many, connection is not just a meeting of minds, it is a resonance of feeling, of spirit. And there is one profound, often overlooked way to invite that resonance: mindful touch. Not in an assertive or forward way, and certainly not in a manner that causes unease, but in a way that is quiet, intentional, and speaks of deep care. One of the most profound gestures another spirit can receive is a simple, gentle massage of the shoulders or hands before any thought of intimacy. This sounds straightforward, does it not? But here is the source of its depth. For another person, feeling an emotional connection is as vital, if not more so, than any physical chemistry. A well-placed, non-demanding touch conveys far more than your words ever can. It communicates, I see you. I care for your well-being. My wish is for you to feel safe and at ease in this moment with me. This is not about being a skilled therapist or seeking to impress. It is about being fully present in this moment, allowing her to feel relaxed, acknowledged, and valued not just for her physical form, but for her entire being. The key: it is never about the action of touch itself. It is about the stillness and intent behind it. If you are simply moving your hands, the meaning is lost. But if you are truly present, engaged, and quietly observing how she feels, she will sense it in her soul. An ancient wisdom teaches us, waste no more time arguing about what a good person is. Be one. Do not complicate it. Do not make it feel out of place. Simply be in the moment and allow your actions to be a clear, silent expression of your care. Here is the unvarnished truth. Many will not take the time to understand this simple truth. That is why they may struggle to find that deeper emotional closeness. But those who do, they create a foundation for lasting connections that are not easily forgotten. In a world often filled with fleeting interactions and surface-level exchanges, this kind of mindful presence is a rare gift. And when you learn to offer it freely, you cultivate a way of being that understands what another heart truly desires on a much deeper level. Second path, the dance of playful awareness. Many misunderstand the energy of a light-hearted exchange. They either apply too much force, appearing needy or desperate, or they hold back out of a fear of misstepping. The truth is, we all enjoy playful interaction, but only when it is offered with a quiet confidence and a sense of respect. A person who knows how to engage in this way naturally stands apart, because they create an energy that is uplifting without being demanding. This playful connection is not about trying to impress with prepared stories or insincere praise. It is about keeping the space between you light, open, and alive. Think of it as a flowing river. You guide the current gently, and she moves with it, but neither of you feels forced in your direction. A simple way to invite this is through gentle teasing in a fun, caring manner. For example, if she shares her love for a particular food, you might reply with a smile, "Is that so? That is the best you have discovered. Clearly, you have not yet tasted my cooking." It is a quiet challenge that keeps the exchange interesting while creating a feeling of shared amusement. More importantly, authentic playfulness is not about seeking approval. The moment you strive to impress, you lose your centeredness. People are naturally drawn to those who are at peace within themselves, who can share a laugh without needing anything in return. Here, an old teaching finds its place. A person of inner substance does not play to win another over. They engage in play because they find joy in the interaction itself. They remain emotionally balanced, never thirsting for a particular response. Beyond words, your eyes and your posture are the real language. A confident gaze followed by a soft smile, a slow nod, or a well-timed moment of silence can speak with more honesty than any prepared line. Connection is not built with words alone. It is built through presence, energy, and inner calm. When you approach this dance with the right spirit, others feel it instantly. So, ask yourself, are you engaging to get a result, or are you engaging because you enjoy the moment itself? Understand this, and you will see how the energy of connection naturally flows toward you. Third path, the gesture of attuned connection. This is something many people overlook entirely, but it is a gesture of profound tenderness, knowing how and when to gently touch her hair. When it arises naturally from the moment, it is one of those small, seemingly simple gestures that can create an immediate sense of emotional closeness. But if it is done without awareness, it can feel unnatural, clumsy, or even unwelcome. The key is to understand why this feels so meaningful. The scalp and hair are sensitive, and a gentle touch there can awaken deep feelings of trust and comfort. It is not just a physical sensation, it is the unspoken message it carries. It can say, "I see you, I am present with you, and I am attuned to your quiet energy." But here is where it can go astray. Some may rush the moment or perform the gesture mechanically, without any true feeling behind it. Touching her hair is not about playing with it unconsciously. It is about creating a shared space of quiet intimacy. Imagine this. You are sitting with her, sharing a conversation, and in a moment of quiet understanding, you gently move a single strand of hair from her face. That one action, born of awareness and gentle confidence, can communicate more than words ever could. The timing must come from the moment itself. This is not something for a first meeting or before a shared comfort has been established. It feels right when she already seems at ease with you, when there is a warmth and an unspoken chemistry between you. If her posture softens and she leans in subtly, if her smile invites you closer, that is when you know the moment has offered itself. The worst approach is to force it when she is not open, which is why your own presence and awareness are so vital. From a place of deep wisdom, this relates to your emotional clarity and restraint. Ancient teachings guide us to read the flow of life without acting on impulse, to remain centered rather than being led by fleeting desire. This means you do not reach out just because you want to, but because it feels like the natural, gentle unfolding of the connection between you. So the next time you are with someone and the moment feels pure, do not underestimate the quiet power of a simple, gentle touch on her hair. When offered with confident and caring intention, it is one of those rare, subtle gestures that leaves a lasting feeling of warmth. Fourth path, the quiet guide. This may appear to be a small, almost unnoticed gesture, but in its essence, it speaks with great clarity. A simple, steadying hand on a woman's lower back as you guide her through a busy space, or as you walk together, communicates something deeply reassuring: calm guidance, awareness, and a protective presence. And yet, many people either overlook this or hesitate, feeling unsure. Another person does not require grand displays of strength to feel secure. What they respond to are the subtle, intuitive signals that a man is grounded, present, and capable of leading with ease. When you place your hand on her back in a calm, self-assured way, you are sending a message that you are centered within yourself and the situation, without needing to speak a word. This is not about being dominant or controlling, but rather about showing through your action that you are there, you are aware, and you are guiding with a quiet confidence. But here is where it can miss the mark. Some hesitate for too long, making the gesture feel awkward, while others do it in a way that feels rigid and unnatural. This is not about claiming possession, nor is it about seeking a reaction. It is about pure presence. When done correctly, the touch is light but clear, it brief but intentional, just enough for her to feel your supportive presence in a way that is effortless and natural. Picture this scene. You are walking side by side, moving toward the entrance of a quiet place. As you move slightly ahead to open the door for her, your hand rests for a moment on her lower back, just enough to guide her forward, without breaking the flow of your movement. It is a moment of silent leadership, a gesture that subconsciously lets her know she is with a person who moves through the world with confidence and purpose. From the perspective of timeless wisdom, this connects directly to self-mastery and emotional presence. A certain teaching reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. A centered person does not seek approval for their actions. They simply embody calmness, awareness, and quiet guidance. When you place your hand on her back, you are not looking for a response. You are simply being a person of presence and gentle leadership. And that alone carries a magnetic quality. In a world where many are either too timid or too forceful, mastering this simple yet profound gesture sets you apart as someone who understands the subtle balance of supportive strength and gentle care. Fifth path, the sanctuary of stillness. Let us quiet the outside world for a moment and touch upon something every person understands on a deep level, but rarely speaks of aloud: the profound need to offer stability, to be a steady presence another can lean on when their world feels unsteady. Not because they are weak, and not because you wish to direct their life, but because it is an expression of your centered core to be a shield, not a cage, to be a rock, not a chasing wind. And here is what is often missed: others crave that stability. Not a god, not a director, but a person who carries a kind of presence that says, without any words, "You are safe in my stillness." And here is the subtle turn. You do not earn this role through physical strength or resources. You earn it through your emotional fortitude. You see, many believe being a protector means stepping in with an answer, solving every issue, telling her what to feel, or fixing her difficult day as if it were a leaking faucet. But in truth, that is often not what is needed. What she truly desires is a man who can stand still while she expresses her own emotional weather, a man who does not shrink when she is experiencing strong feelings, who does not try to dismiss them, minimize them, or make them about his own discomfort. She wants to know that you can hold the space for her storm without losing your own clear sky. Because when a woman is feeling overwhelmed, mentally, emotionally, or hormonally, she is not seeking someone to fix her. She is seeking someone who will not be moved by the storm, someone who does not try to run, someone who does not react, someone who simply stays but stays grounded. That is what makes you her sanctuary. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not the stuff of films. It is steady, quiet, unshakable. And the more she feels that stillness from you, the more she can relax into her own natural state. Because now she is not the only one carrying the emotional weight. She is not the only one guiding the emotional flow. She gets to let go because she knows you are with her, even when she is not feeling her easiest. Now, let us be very clear. Being her protector means letting her feel without rushing to a solution, listening with your entire being, not just your ears, and keeping your own inner calm when she tests boundaries, not as a punishment, but to demonstrate that her storm cannot break your foundation. Your calm becomes the signal. Here is the essence: you become the sanctuary before she needs you to be. This means you do not just respond to turmoil, you prevent it with your own peaceful energy. You set the emotional tone. You walk with a quiet purpose. You speak with intention, and you do not need to say, "I am here for you," because the way you carry yourself already conveys it. But let us be clear, this is not about becoming an emotional punching bag. Being a protector does not mean you tolerate disrespect, volatility, or manipulation. It means you protect your own peace first, because a man who cannot protect his own inner state will never be a true sanctuary for hers. This is why the path of self-awareness is so profound in relationships. An ancient teacher said, "No man was ever wise by chance." You do not accidentally find this way of being. You choose it, you build it, you embody it, not to impress her, not to prove a point, but because it is who you are becoming, and who you must be to guide, not to chase, to protect, not to prove. And here is the beautiful truth. When you step fully into that centered energy, she begins to see you differently. She softens, she opens, she trusts, not because you rescued her, but because you showed her that she never needed to rescue you. So, if you are finished with trying to earn affection through excessive giving, if you are tired of being an emotional sponge just to keep someone close, if you are finally ready to lead with a grounded spirit, affirm this to yourself: my presence is a sanctuary. Because the person she craves, the one she respects deep in her very being, is not the loudest one. He is the one who does not waver when it matters, the one who listens without fixing, who holds space without fear, and who guides without losing himself. That is the person she trusts. That is the person she gives her heart to. That is the protector, not of her body, but of her safety within your presence. Sixth path, the expression of inner truth. Very well, let us speak of something that seems entirely physical at a glance, but actually connects to something far deeper: your outward appearance as a reflection of your inner state. To some, a beard is just hair. To others, it is a statement. But to her, if you carry yourself with intention, it can signal a quality that feels almost instinctual. Now, I am not suggesting that all women prefer a beard. Some favor a clean-shaven face, some a light stubble, some a full and traditional look. But regardless of personal preference, there is a reason that beards have often symbolized something foundational, something of the earth, something quietly strong. And women sense this, even if they cannot always put it into words. Because your appearance doesn't just change how you look, it changes how you are perceived, and perception is the beginning of connection. You see, a well-cared-for appearance, whether bearded or not, can signal maturity. It can suggest experience. It can carry a sense of gravity. It tells her silently, this man is past the need for youthful display. He is not seeking to impress. He simply is. And that just is energy. That is stillness. That is a masculine essence. That is the kind of presence that speaks more loudly than anything you might say. Let us go a layer deeper. Psychologically, these symbols can represent stability and depth. Not the loud kind of dominance, but the quiet kind. The kind that enters a space and has no need to announce its presence. It speaks through stillness, through presence, through the details. And when a woman sees a man with that kind of presence, especially if he carries his chosen appearance with confidence and care, it resonates with something ancient within her. She sees safety, but also strength. She senses a person who can both protect and provoke. Someone not easily influenced by the opinions of others. Someone who walks his own path. But let us be very clear. This is not about appearance for the sake of appearance. Your outward form, when cultivated correctly, is not just a look. It becomes a mirror of your own discipline. It says, I care for myself. I am mindful of details. I invest in my own presence. Because a careless, unkempt appearance does not suggest power. It suggests neglect. But a clean, intentional presentation, it says, I know who I am, and I am at peace with showing it. Now, here is the subtle point few speak of. When a woman's hand runs along your jawline, whether smooth or bearded, she is not just feeling a texture. She is feeling something deeper. It is contact, but it is also a dance of opposites. Your ruggedness against her softness, her gentle skin against your edge. It is a sensory experience, and it communicates a great deal. That is the part often missed. Your appearance doesn't just change you. It creates polarity. And polarity is the engine of chemistry. Not sameness, not comfort, but difference, the masculine and the feminine, stillness and motion, strength and surrender. A chosen look, when paired with the right energy, becomes a tool to amplify that polarity, to make her feel more deeply in her own feminine nature just by being near you. But again, it is never about the appearance itself. It is about the man behind it. Because if your energy is weak, if your boundaries are unclear, if you chase, explain, or over-give, no external feature will change how she feels. But if you carry yourself like a man, quiet when needed, selective with your focus, grounded in your purpose, then your appearance becomes more than just a look. It becomes a symbol of the man you have chosen to be. And that is where the true charm resides. Let us bring this back to ancient wisdom. A great teacher once said, first know who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. You do not adopt a style to hide insecurity. You allow it to grow as an extension of your identity. It does not make you strong. It reflects the strength you already cultivate within. So whether you remain clean, shaven, or grow a beard, do it with purpose. Do not follow trends. Do not imitate styles. Lead with your presence and let everything else be a natural expression of that. And if this insight resonates with you today, if you now understand that your inner state is not just felt, it is also seen, then let this thought be your anchor. I wear my truth. Because the man who knows who he is does not just adopt a look. He wears it like a signal, a quiet reminder to her that this is a man who has nothing to prove. He already is. Seventh path, the gift of shared joy. Let me ask you this, my friend. When was the last time you shared a moment of true laughter with a woman? I do not mean a polite laugh, not the kind of, that's funny, that follows a weak attempt at humor. I mean that authentic, unguarded, honest laughter. The kind that makes her lean back and let go of everything for just a moment. The kind that leads her to touch your arm without a thought. The kind that allows her walls to dissolve without a single word being exchanged. Because here is a truth that many overlook. Laughter is not just about fun. It is a form of intimacy. It is disarming. It goes past all her mental defenses. It bypasses logic and settles directly into her spirit. Do you wish to understand the simple nature behind this? When a woman laughs with you, her whole being relaxes, it bonds, it trusts. And in that moment, you are not just the man she is with. You are the man she feels at ease with, the one whose presence feels like coming home. Now, many never explore this path. Why? Because they are so focused on appearing impressive, on saying the correct thing, on being strong, stoic, and mysterious. And all of those qualities have their place. But if that is all you bring, she may feel a sense of admiration, but not a true connection. She may see you as composed, but ultimately distant. Laughter is what makes your shared moments memorable. It is the secret ingredient, the space between the silences, the breath of air where she realizes, being with this man makes my life feel lighter. But here is what is truly important. This is not about becoming a performer. It is not about striving to entertain her. It is about knowing when to relax into the present moment, when to tease with playfulness, when to allow her to tease you in return, and when to not hold yourself so seriously. That is what creates the kind of chemistry that does not need touch to feel alive with energy. Let me paint a picture for you. You are out with her. It is a quiet evening. The atmosphere is calm. You notice something, a small detail that no one else would see, and you make a simple, a perfectly timed observation. Her lips begin to smile, She tries to hold it back, but she cannot, and now you are both sharing a moment of laughter. That moment right there is more profound than any perfectly crafted line, because it was not forced, it was born of the moment. It was yours, shared, unwritten, real, and the beauty of this is, she will revisit that feeling later. Not the words you said, but the feeling. She will not recall the exact comment. She will remember how light she felt in your presence. And in a world that can often feel heavy to her, that feeling is magnetic. Now here is what many get wrong. They believe laughter is a sign of weakness, that if they are not serious at all times, they lose respect. But the truth is the opposite. The man who can be light without losing his depth is rare. He is compelling. He is deeply attractive, because he does not need to be on to have a strong presence. He understands that laughter does not diminish his masculine core, it enriches it. It shows that he is not threatened by the flow of the moment, that he is in command of his own energy, and that even from a place of stillness, he can invite joy. Let us connect this back to ancient wisdom. A great Roman thinker once said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." But he also advised, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. In other words, your ability to reframe life, to transform tension into ease. That is a form of power. And laughter is that very transformation. It is how you guide her energy, and your own, back toward joy. It is how you teach her that strength does not always have to be heavy, that stability can smile, and that stillness can spark with light. So, if you have been carrying the burden of always being the serious one, if you have forgotten what it feels like to simply enjoy a moment with a woman without trying to control it, without a performance, it is time to welcome that lightness back, not to impress her, but to reconnect with that part of yourself first. Because the man who laughs with her, not at her, not for her, but with her, that man builds something deeper than just attraction. He builds an emotional memory. And if that is the man you are becoming, let this be your quiet truth. I lead with lightness. Because the man who makes her smile is the man she wants to be near, not just when life is exciting, but also when it is difficult. Because laughter, my friend, is not just a sound, it is a signal. And when it is shared, it becomes a bond that she cannot explain but will never forget. Eighth path, the power of a life's direction. Let us move beyond momentary attraction, beyond the touch, beyond the playful exchange, beyond the chemistry. Let us speak of something that all women are drawn to, but rarely know how to articulate a man with a purpose. Not simply a job, not just a goal, not merely a plan for the next month. I am speaking of vision, of direction. A man who is not just getting by, but who is consciously building something meaningful. Because here is the truth that many men overlook. Nothing draws a woman in more deeply than a man who is unapologetically walking a path that is larger than his own comfort. This is not about wealth. This is not about recognition. It is not even about the specific dream itself. It is about what having that dream communicates about you. It says that you are alive. It says you are not stagnant. It says you wake up with a reason. And that kind of energy is profoundly inspiring. Do you want to know what women find truly compelling on a deep level? It is the man who can look her in the eyes and say, "I cannot stay long. I have work to do." And she knows he means it. Not because he is trying to avoid her, but because he refuses to lose his own center in her presence. That is the essence. You do not win her heart by focusing all your energy on her. You win it by focusing on your path and allowing her to see the conviction in your eyes when you speak of it. And here is why this works. Because when a woman feels your direction, when she sees that you are pursuing something real, that you are not sitting still, not waiting for life to hand you what you want, she develops a deep respect for you. She